As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
I got to go with Collin Morikawa. Unbelievable. Shot a final day 66, was without a doubt the best player on the course. Bogey free, Gabe, for the final 31 holes. The first pro to win two majors under 25 since, or the
Tiger
only
Woods?
other. That's it. Only other one to ever
That's
go
good.
to
That's got to be
Tiger
the
Woods.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Answer's always Tiger Woods, right?
Amazing. Listen to this. He's just in his second year. His first 50 PGA Tour events, 5 wins, 2 majors, 4 major top 10s, and $14 million in earnings. Unbelievable with what he's done so quickly. He's a beast, and he's got that effortless swing, effortless way that he makes his way around the golf course. That was a lot of fun to watch.
First player ever to win 2 majors in his first attempt, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's there's a lot of those things that are just like, it's crazy.
First ever is usually, I mean, it's usually good when you're the first
Kind
ever
of a
to do
good thing.
something in a sport.
It's
He
crazy.
he is what I strive to be as a golfer, Ted. Now, I'm not 24 years old. I'm past that. I'm also not good at golf, but just nice and easy with the driver, doesn't hit it super long, just really consistent, puts it in the fairway. And then, dude, you look at all the advanced stats. Sometimes I kind of nerd out on golf now. And by the way, I'm just realizing I haven't hit a golf ball since that baby was born. I got to fix that this week. I got to get out,
Yeah.
man.
Every dad has said the same thing, and
I
some of
got to
their
get
kids
out.
are like 8 years old right now.
I'm missing it. I'm missing it bad. I was watching today. I was like, when's the last time I hit a golf ball? It was one of those things. But his advanced stats, like on the tee to green stuff and the iron play, like what it's like they categorize it as ball striking, right? I mean, he is destroying everyone else on tour in some of those stats. Like he is an unbelievable iron player. That's what I want my game to be, right? Drive it straight, keep it in the fairway, and then just be a beast with the irons. Ted, is that too much to ask?
It's a lot to ask. Yeah,
Damn
it
it.
is.
I was hoping you'd no, I need you to be like, yeah, man, you got it. I need
No,
positive
you got
reinforcement.
it. Hey,
Thank you.
you've got the athleticism. All it takes is time, attention to details. You'll get there.
I'm I am I'm realizing that I now regret not putting a golf simulator in the new house. Huge error. Because
Is
I
it too
could I
late?
could be hitting like 50 balls a day, like baby's sleeping. Like, hey, let's get on the simulator, let's work on the game.
Why is it too late?
I don't know. I got some text to send. See see where I can put it.
Right. Yeah.
See if my
See,
wife will let
I've
me
always
do it.
wanted one of those. That would be so awesome.
I think there's a spot.
You
Hopefully.
make room.
God, that'd be sweet. Be
Be
so
awesome.
sweet. Got to get it. Got to do it. All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Well, speaking of golf, I thought about going with DeChambeau, saying that his driver sucks.
Did you see
That was
Kefka?
fantastic. Yeah, I said he loves his driver. That
Wait,
was great.
okay. So DeChambeau wasn't like a Cobra rep caddying for him.
I think that was like a week ago.
What, like it
Yes.
was recently, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
And they're like, we've been over backwards giving him everything. The guy that caddied for him is like, he's never happy. He never will be happy.
Like,
Everything that we do for him,
didn't he say
that's
he's
how
like
he is.
he throws temper tantrums like a child? Like the stuff he was saying was so good. I was like, oh my gosh, Teddy's gonna love this.
And he came back and said, I apologize. My driver doesn't suck. I suck. That was
We've all
great.
been there, like this driver sucks. Like this,
Right.
it's like, no, the swing sucks. You suck. Like if yeah, but the way he swing, I mean, it's what does he expect, man?
Yeah, you're swinging out of your damn shoes every time. That's going to happen, man. That's why everyone didn't laugh, but kind of scoffed at the notion that he's going to do that. I remember he had one win early on, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, we got to change the balls, and we're hitting it too far." I was like, "Let's just relax until he, wins a major, or maybe 3 majors or something like that in a row." But
Remember when they thought he was going to break Augusta National? They're like, "Will he break the course?" And
yeah,
it
well,
is just like, "Oh no, he
no,
will not. He can't
no,
putt."
he won't. I also thought about going with Bob Bowlsby. Can you explain to me why on national television at Big 12 Media Day he makes Josie and OU look bad by saying what he said? We all signed the same contract. We're going to abide by it. I don't get that. Why would he
Why wouldn't he? I and
go to bat
I
for
know
the money maker in this conference?
I know Bob well. I've got to know him over the last couple years doing my Big 12 show, and he's not one for controversy, right?
Well,
Now he's really good at his job, but you're right. He missed an opportunity to be like, "Hey, we signed the contract. We all know what we signed up for, but we don't like it." Like that's what he could have said what he said, but then had a qualifier being like, Oklahoma deserves to be in prime time. I'm with you.
yes.
He could have, he could have
Here's the
stuck up
problem.
for OU.
The problem is Bowlsby doesn't want to upset the TV partners because him and every other school in this conference are free or used to getting their free check. They don't bring anything to the table. No one watches any of their games. Like the first couple of weeks of the season, everyone in the Big 12 is on ESPN Plus. You got to stream their shows. There's no one in the stands unless OU comes to town. The only reason there's any revenue in this conference is because of us. And he gets up there on the podium and says, "We're just going to abide by the contract." It's a joke. It's pathetic. All he has to do is say exactly what you said, but he's got the TV execs in his back pocket saying, "Don't you go out there and say anything. Get you in trouble there, Bob. You don't want that free check to not come in the mail." It pissed me off, man. It made me really mad.
Did it? I can't tell.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I can't figure out why you wouldn't back your cash cow, at least in public. And in private, you may say, "Listen, Joe, there's nothing we could do. We signed the contract. You know what the contract is. We just got to abide by it." But you don't go out there in public and say that is crap. It's pathetic.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. You could have handled it differently for sure.
But my real loser is Pro Football Focus, PFF. You've got to explain this to me. They had their top 10 defenses coming back to college football next year. Oklahoma's nowhere to be found. And then under that, they had just missed the cut, and they listed 9 more schools. I mean, they had Alabama, Birmingham was in there, Pitt was in there, Marshall was in there, and no doubt that these are good schools with good football teams. Okay. But the fact that they don't have Oklahoma in the top 20 defenses in the country coming back is pathetic. And one of the main reasons it's pathetic is because in the same day, they have Oklahoma with the number 1 pass rush in college football. How the hell can you do that?
I do not know, Teddy. You and I, we have a love-hate relationship with Pro Football Focus. You know that.
They're just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. Oh, Pitt's the number 5 defense in college football. Way to go, Pitt. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They're just spitballing.
I wonder what statistics, like, because that's their thing, right? Numbers, right? I wonder what combination of numbers they used to decide that Marshall is going to have a better defense than Oklahoma.
It gets worse. It gets worse, Gabe. They listed West Virginia in the schools that just missed the cut.
West Virginia was good on defense last year. They were. So that's one where you're like, okay, respect.
They listed TCU, which TCU was good too, and they listed Iowa State. All of those schools were good, but OU was better. OU was better than all of them. And I know statistically West Virginia was better, but guess who West Virginia didn't have to play last year? They didn't have to play Oklahoma, and that would have changed the ranking, and OU would have been in front of them in every category. So they have 3 Big 12 teams in the top 20, and they don't have Oklahoma. Oklahoma will be the best defense in the Big 12 next year by quite a margin, and they even know it. They've got them as the number 1 pass rush in all of college football. How can you have that and not even make it in the top 20 when statistically you were better than the other 3 Big 12 teams that you put in front of them? You can't. It's stupid.
It is stupid. Oh, fun fact. Marshall led college football in scoring defense last year. How about that?
Did they play a full schedule?
They played 10 games. Only allowed 13 points a game. How about that? Look, hey, respect to you, Marshall. That all being said, OU still got a better defense than them because they have better players.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah, no, I'm with
one
you.
Thing,
you know who the best defenses in the country are, Ted? Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma. Those are the best defenses in the country because they have the best players and they have great defensive coordinators.
That's right.
Let's not overthink
that really that simple.
It is. And Iowa State,
which
they got a damn good defense.
They had Alabama number 1, Clemson number 2 or 3, Ohio State. They were all right there, and those schools didn't have the 1, 2, and 3 defenses statistically in the country last year. So I don't know.
I'll say this: we should thank PFF, right? That's got to go up somewhere in the defensive meeting room.
That's right.
If you're Alex Grinch, you print that tweet out, you blow it up huge, and you put it everywhere. That's what I would do. Just a nice reminder.
It probably shouldn't frustrate me as much as it does, but
no, I love how much you are fired up right now. I love it.
It just does. You cannot say that they have the best rush in all of college football, but they're not a top 20 defense. What the hell sense does that make? That doesn't make any sense at all.
You are correct, sir. I'm on your side on this. And I love how much it bothers you. Shout out to PFF. Thank you for the fuel for Oklahoma's defense. We appreciate you. Okay, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going with Collin Morikawa. Knew you would hit that because we've done a few of these, bud. I knew you were going to hit golf. I was like, he'll take care of that. Don't you worry. I also thought about going with a few of the players from the Padres, right? Did you see that, man? And it was outside the stadium, right? But a scary situation there in Washington, D.C. But you saw Tatis and Manny Machado, and I think the other guy's name's like Will Myers, something like that, helping fans. Eventually, like Tatis ran to the stands and was getting people's family and stuff. Like then they were taking fans into the dugout. That was a scary situation at that game, but I thought that those dudes from the Padres handled it well. That was pretty cool how they did that.
Yeah, it's nuts. You never know when something like that's going to happen. So you got to be prepared. You got to know what you would do at any moment and always at least maintain a little bit of vigilance as to what's going on out there.
Yeah. Stay away from walls. Travel in small pack. Bullets bounce off walls. I saw that a couple times on Twitter. I was like, okay, noted. Stay away from walls. I was like, oh, we should probably not have to talk about that at a sporting event. Okay, but my winner of the weekend, it's got to be the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks. That Game 5, and we've seen some great Game 5s in the history of the NBA Finals, and this one did not disappoint, man. The Bucks go to Phoenix, beat the Suns in Game 5, and the 3 guys that they are paying a fortune earned every dollar. They played fantastic basketball. Giannis is he continues to be a joke of a human being with his physical ability. Still can work on the free throws, but
I'm telling you, man, if he, like, to me, that's the difference. If he was a high 80 free throw shooter, forget about it, because you can't stop him going to the rim. But late in games, he gets a little skittish, because he's worried about the foul line. Once he gets better, and I think he will get better because that's what he does. He's going to be he'll be unstoppable.
Did you see what Chris Paul, because they gave up the big offensive rebound in the free throw, the Suns did when Giannis shot it, and Chris Paul, after they're like, how, what happened, and he was like, well, everyone's anticipating him missing, including him. It was like, I thought it was pretty funny, but
a little dagger there.
So, and you're right, and no one has an answer for it, but the Suns they don't have an answer for Giannis attacking the rim. Some of the stuff he's able to do when he's got a head of steam, man, boy. But Chris Middleton hit some big shots, but the real difference in the game was Jrue Holiday.
He was great.
He shot it really well. He was aggressive offensively, ends up with 27 points, 13 assists, and then was just phenomenal. I mean, just playing at a ridiculous level on the ball, on the defensive end of the floor, and makes the huge play at the end of the game, right? These really competitive games on the biggest stage in sports, right? They come down to these moments. And him stripping Booker, some people, a Suns fan will tell you it was a foul. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was clean.
It was. I saw it I was outside watching it, and it was pretty far away, but then I went back and watched it. I was like, I thought that was clean. You can't really make much of an argument, in my opinion. He got his hands directly on the ball. I think there was some contact after he had grabbed the ball, but I thought it was a good playoff basketball play.
Yeah. And then had the onions to toss the lob to Giannis. Just an awesome finish. And Chris
you
Paul
can throw it anywhere in the vicinity of the rim, and he's going to hammer that one home.
Yeah, but just a brilliant game from Jrue Holiday. I mean, it was, especially, he'd received a lot of criticism, especially for some of the offensive games he's had throughout the playoffs. That had to feel good for him, and just what a win by the Bucks. I felt bad for the Suns fan, the guy that was counting all the money. Man, that had to ruin his night. He got his camera time though, Ted. So I didn't feel too bad for him.
It was great. It was a big win. You hate to take away too much from it, but that win on the road, it's all of a sudden it feels like the Suns they do, but their backs are pinned against the wall, and there's some things that they just don't really have an answer for.
Yeah, and it's Giannis. I mean, Chris Paul, I know you end up looking at the stats and you look at the line and you're like, okay, yeah, he played well. I did not think he was very good until the fourth quarter. Yeah. I really didn't. Booker kind of saved their ass hitting some of the shots he hit. I mean, I
think that's what it's going to take is
just Booker going for like 50.
Booker hitting some unbelievable shots, and Chris Paul's going to have another huge game.
Well, at least LeBron was there to support Chris Paul in the loss. Did you see?
Did he have a bottle of tequila with him?
Yes. It's called like Lobos or something. I don't know, but I think it's like he must be a big investor in it because he puts it on his Instagram all the time. He had it in between his legs, like courtside. Just, you know what?
Free camera time.
Respect, man. I respect. When you're that famous, you get to do whatever you want. And that includes bring your own bottle of tequila and set it right between your legs courtside and drink out of it. Them's the rules, man.
Well, I would be shocked, but I saw him take a wine glass to the bench whenever he was injured a couple of years ago. You remember that?
Yeah. He's so good at basketball. He's built such a massive brand. He gets to do what he wants. I mean, that's just how it works.
It's true. It's true.
I saw that. I was like, first of all, his outfit, that way to make a statement, LeBron. Nice and loud with the shirt.
I do have to say, my son watched Space Jam today with LeBron.
And?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything post-movie, but I'm I fear that he may be a LeBron James fan after watching it. I hope that's not the case. We'll see.
I'm planning on watching it this week. We'll do a review. We'll do a review on when we record Wednesday night. Hopefully I get it in. Hopefully I'll be able to watch it. Okay, so my loser of the weekend, thought about going with Max Verstappen. Ted, I'm deep into Formula One. I'm in. I like it. But Lewis Hamilton spins him out, and his day at the F1 British Grand Prix was over before it really even got started. Man, was it a racing incident? Was it malicious?
You tell me there's history?
Well, these two dudes, they are battling for the drivers' championship, man. These are the two. I mean, and what? Lewis Hamilton's won like 7 drivers' championships in a row. Like he's the best F1 driver ever. And Verstappen is fantastic. And and the Red Bull was running well. But basically in this sport, it was interesting because I don't know a ton about it. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, was what he did really that bad? The Lewis Hamilton fans basically said, no, that's a racing incident. That's what they called like it. Basically them going, hey, it happens. And then on the other side, the Verstappen fans were basically saying that Lewis Hamilton tried to murder Max Verstappen with what he did. And I'm like, which one is it? Which one is it? But I got to learn a little more about the sport, but Sunday mornings, man, yeah, I'm in. Something to watch Sunday morning. I love it. It's great.
I like it. That's good stuff.
Once if you watch the Netflix thing, you'll get hooked. Drivers, they're pretty
I need
cool.
to get back into it. I watched a couple of episodes of it, like late spring last year. I need to get back into it.
It's good. It's good. Okay, but my loser of the weekend, Vanderbilt football. And we don't talk a lot of Vanderbilt football on here. And now I will say this. Clark Lee, their new head coach, comes from Notre Dame. He was the defense coordinator there. The guy can coach. I mean, I think he's really, really good. But he's doing the absolute most. Ted. Clark Lee and his new staff at Vandy removed all the numbers from the roster. Yeah. No player currently has a jersey number in the Vanderbilt football program. Here's the quote from head coach Clark Lee. We're going to earn everything in this program until we understand that we rent those numbers. We don't own them until we are ready to work within them, leave them better for the next person to wear them. That will come. I don't want to put a timeline on it.
I'll put a timeline on it. Early September, whenever you play your first game. You better have some numbers by then.
I mean, what? I remember when OU took the last names off the back of the jerseys?
Yeah.
I was pissed about that. No numbers at all. This is madness.
You weren't there, were you?
No, hell no. That was like 06.
Yeah, it was 06.
Yeah, it was so miserable that everyone still remembers the year it was because we all were like, who is everybody?
I only remember it because I just watched the 06 Big 12 championship game and they didn't have the names on the back. But I understand what he's doing, but
it's a little much.
It's a little much. You usually do that with like the nameplate or something. Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, because it's basically, and it's not like a threat, but like the kids know they're going to get the numbers back. Right. That's how the sport is played. Like you have to have a number. That's the rule in the sport. So I'm just imagining like a kid not playing well in camp, like, and he doesn't get the number he's had for 2 years, and he has to call his mom, and he's like crying. He's like, "Mom, I'm not going to be number 11 anymore." And she's like, "What? You're not going to be number 11 anymore? What do I do with all these jerseys your father and I have had made? Like, these things aren't cheap. These are custom, son. What happened?" And he's like, "I'm just a failure. They give number 11 to Jimmy."
If you're the first to earn your number, do you get pick of the litter? Or do you just get your number back?
I don't know. That's why it seems so stupid. Like, can someone just, if they're like, this guy has earned a number, can some freshman just jack a senior's number? Like, there's going to be fights, Clark Lee.
I bet you just get your number back and.
Well, then that's just stupid.
I agree.
How
I
are they going to
agree.
identify people in practice in camp? I guess they did some of this throughout the spring. Like everyone was just super confused. Like you see
I,
the coach, hey, Matt, that's you, right? Yeah, okay, I thought so. Looked like you on tape.
you
Just
know
like,
who's really pissed is the equipment guys. They
oh
already
my,
have a ton of stuff to do, and this is just going to make it extra hard to get everyone's stuff together and order new jerseys that are
well,
numberless. Which good luck. I don't even know where you would get those. I mean, whoever's making those is like, what do you mean no numbers on them? That's funny.
the best part about it is like, how do they give out the jerseys?
I
Like, do
guess
they put their name on the inside? Like, does it
you
still have
probably
their
have a
name on
tag
it?
on it with your locker number or something.
Yeah, it's probably their number that's on it, so the equipment guys know where the hell to put it. It's I just saw that and I was like, Clark, I think I get what you're trying to do. Like, you got to earn everything. Dude, just give the kids numbers. Just let them
Yeah.
have numbers. It, no one else is doing this, man. I mean, what?
Because I know numbers are important, but they're not that important. If you want to threaten someone with that you have to have this to earn it, it's got to be something that people really want, like that you need in your daily life. And if you don't have it, it's going to make your life miserable. Your jersey without a number on it doesn't really change anything for you.
That's that. I liked what Matt Rule did at Baylor, right? The single digits, like
Hell
being a
yeah, I
reward.
love that. Yeah.
That was cool. Like, that's something where it's like, hey, you earn one of these single digits. Like, it is an honor to wear one of the single digits. Like, that stuff's cool to me. Like, that incentivizing that when it comes to the jerseys. Taking guys' numbers off their jerseys, like it just makes it hard to watch tape.
Yep.
Like,
The single digit thing that was awesome. That did they kept that right?
yeah, kept it. It was so
That's awesome.
everyone was like, "This is awesome." Yeah, we're keeping it.
Because I mean, that's a big thing. You come in as a freshman, you're saying, hey, by the time I'm a junior or by the time I graduate, I want to be a single digit guy, and it's cool. That's a
Yeah,
great incentive.
I would imagine that and being a captain are kind of about the. Which
Hmm.
I will say this, and this has always bothered me. OU should put captaincies on their jerseys. It bothered me when I was a captain that we didn't have one. I'll,
Really?
I'll be honest. I always thought I was like, you know what? It is an honor, and maybe it's selfish of me. I was like, I want everyone in this thing to know that I earned it. I don't know. It's like the single digit thing for it's like, yeah, I want you to know. I want you to know I'm a captain. Throw a C right above Sooners. I
Which
don't know.
reminds me,
You were a captain too. Maybe it didn't bother, but I always remember putting
dude,
on my jersey the 2 years I was a captain. I was like, this thing should have a C on it, man.
I had no idea captains even had a C on their jersey whenever I
Or at
played
least
at
maybe
OU.
like one of the soccer armbands, something.
Yeah, give me an armband. Um, that does remind me though, and we'll have to get into this at a later date, but advertisements coming on the college jerseys, it sounds like.
Oh yeah. Should we
Yay.
put the Oklahoma breakdown with Hiker and Lehman logo on a jersey somewhere? Tulsa, call us.
We UCO, we may have to go lower.
UCO roll shows.
That's right. We're gonna have to go lower.